the Comic DF.
What is up, besties? It is your girl, the Karmic DF, back to you again with another video. This time we're going to talk about how to, more from a psychological standpoint than spiritual, but we're going to kind of blend the two, because that's my goal with this page, is to blend spirituality with reality. But we are going to take on, how do we change our mind so that we can change our life? So if you are in a crossroads in your life, if you want more out of life, but you don't believe that it's possible, if you're just ready to change, you're aching for change, you want better for yourself, you know that there's more to be had out there, then I'm going to share with you who I was back in 2020 so that you can see how manifestation / working through your traumas and healing actually does impact your life for the better, and that it works. So if you're ready to be happy, if you're ready to stop letting things limit you, if you're ready to just take control back of your life, then this video is for you. So as always, if you enjoy my videos, please give it a like. It really does support my channel. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on TikTok sometimes. The links are all down below. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, links are all down below. If you're interested in pop culture conspiracy readings, that'll be on Wednesday. You can also just check out my playlist. I have a whole pop culture playlist and a conspiracy playlist. But as always, let's get into it. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that at this point in my life, I am a lot more confident than I used to be. I don't really get bothered by other people's triggers and projections. I'm just not the person that I used to be. But I want to share with you guys a journal thing that I had written to myself back at the end of 2020. And it's personal, but I want you guys to see that this work does work. So whether you want to call it manifestation or whether you want to just call it like therapy on steroids, which is kind of what I think spirituality really is. It's self-therapy on steroids. So I'm going to read to you things that I've completely worked through by now. So that way, you know, the assholes in the comments, excuse my language, that want to try and hurt my feelings by using my own words against me, it's not going to work. And frankly, you're boosting my algorithm. So thank you. More people will see my video because of you. So I even appreciate the haters. But I'm going to share with you the type of person that I was back in 2020 so that you can understand that you might be in this energy, but you might want more, but you might think that it's not realistic, it's not logical, it's not going to happen for you. And I've been there. If you've seen my videos before, I've mentioned that back in, it's been over 4 years now, I was an alcoholic and I was at the bottom of the barrel. So to think that I would be here today was unrealistic to literally anyone that knew me back then. So just listen to some of the stuff that I wrote on here. I don't deserve to relax. It's not safe to feel my feelings. If I start to feel, then the pain will never end. I can't accept my weight. Now, for those of you that don't follow me on Facebook, Instagram, I weighed 50 pounds more like last summer. So this has literally changed. I need people to approve of me. If I try, I will fail. I've already tried everything. I hate change. It's selfish to want more. I don't deserve it. I don't have the willpower. Oh, this one was hard to work on. Emotions are weakness, but a lot of you heard that, right? I'm a failure. I'm helpless to healing myself. Making money requires sacrificing who I am, aka settling for a job that I did not want. I'm helpless to heal myself. I literally wrote that twice. So I felt very helpless this stage in my life. I won't amount to anything. No one loves me. I don't have the strength. I deserve to be miserable. I don't love myself. I can't do anything right. I'm better off dead. How sad is that? And when I first saw this the other day, I was like, I have to share this with people because I know that there's a lot of people out there that feel this way, but don't think that they can make this change. But when I read this, I hugged myself and I celebrated myself because I don't resonate with any of this anymore. So let me share with you why you can change it and why manifestation, or if you're not into spirituality, therapy on steroids really does work. And you can change this to actually love and appreciate yourself and create a life that is more uplifting, positive, and fulfilling than what you think you can obtain right now. If you want to be happy, and I mean truly happy, then yes, manifestation does work. And though yes, it's spiritual, it is also not. For the normal person, it's simply digging yourself out of the hole that society, family, friends, and lovers and you created for yourself. How much you want to dig, how much desire you have to be happy is ultimately up to you. But I want you to understand from the list of things that I wrote and that I wanted to heal at the end of 2020 that it was sad, really sad. But there's a happy ending in all of this. I healed it all and I'm still healing. So I share this level of vulnerability with you all because not only do I want you to understand what manifestation really is, but that we are all capable of redefining our joy. That the only thing truly standing in the way of that is our mindset. It's our limiting beliefs. It's our inner critic. It's what everybody else put into our brains. I want you to think, because I'm thinking about a client that I had recently where when you were a child, right, no one could get in the way of your ideas. Like if you wanted to be an astronaut mermaid, then you were going to be an astronaut mermaid. If you wanted to be a policeman / singer, then you were going to be a policeman and a singer. No one was going to get you out of that headspace, right? But throughout time, other people put their shit on us. You can't do that. It's not realistic. You can't do that because I can't do that. Everybody else is projecting their wounds onto everybody else. And we have this sick society. And it's sad, but it's something that we can get ahead of because it does not have to be our reality. And back in 2020, I was going through a lot of crap. I was in a situationship that I thought that if I could prove to him that I was worthy of his validation and love, that he would open up and love me. And looking back, it's just silly. Like I'm not even upset about it anymore, but it spiraled me into an awakening because he was like the straw that broke my back. It was like enough is enough. And more often than not, we decide to choose ourselves through something painful, whether that's a loss of a loved one, been there, or whether that's losing a job or a relationship that you've gripped onto for a long time that does not pan out. Parents projecting their insecurities onto you, whatever it is, that downfall that we have is usually when we decide to choose ourselves and climb out of it. 222, and I'm saying that. So it's realizing that we don't have to wait for something really tragic and traumatic to happen to us in order for us to choose ourselves and to actually embody who it is that we want to be. Just because other people don't believe in their dreams doesn't mean that their fear of failure and their fear of success has to be what we decide to be. We need to embody what we used to be, which is a child, right? That is inherent in us, but we think that it's not normal because we live in a sick society designed to make us play small so that we fit the role and we stay in our lane, whether that's because of religion or it's because society benefits from us not knowing our worth, because who else is going to be the cashier at Walmart if not us? You know what I mean? So it's realizing what our worth is, what our values are, and sticking to it and staying true to ourselves. Despite how uncomfortable, it's going to make everybody else around us, because even though we're going to trigger a bunch of people, we're also going to inspire the people that don't want to be shackled down as well. So understanding that even though people are going to get shitty with us, we're going to lose people, we're also going to have new people come in that better fit who we want to be and who we're meant to be. Because you don't have dreams for no reason. It's not just a fantasy. It's not an escapism so that you don't have to deal with the mundane reality of life. This isn't reality if you don't want it to be. You don't have to settle. We've been taught to settle, but once we decide that that's not what we want, the universe will hear us and they will match that frequency. Energy likes the same type of energy. When you don't love yourself, right, then you attract a lot of people that remind you that you don't love yourself because they can't love you because they're in the same place. Just like I mentioned the situationship, looking back on that, now that I fully healed and let go of that person, I can now see that that was someone that was also very insecure and someone that also didn't believe that they had the strength. They also had childhood wounds. And so we attract what we know. And if we want more for ourselves, then we have to stop that rat race circle that we've been in that we think is normal and say, hey, I'm going to pull out for a second. I'm going to be mindful of my surroundings, mindful of how I talk to myself, mindful of the people around me, and I'm going to start implementing change until the reality that I have is the reality that I want and deserve. Everyone's constantly manifesting. They just don't realize that that's what it is. You at some point would either make a wish or had a dream and prayed. Maybe you yelled it into the air, or you did a witchcraft spell if you're into that. Regardless of the how, the ugly has to come first. You pray for an abundant life, for instance, then you're going to get triggered by everything holding you back from receiving that, so that you can see clear the way for new to come in. If you want love, for instance, you keep attracting unhealthy relationships. Look at what it's really telling you. Look at what that is showing you that needs to be healed first. Manifestation is literally self-therapy on steroids. It's finding every single wound and facing it head on so nothing can get in the way of what you envision for yourself. Like when we want to lose weight, we know that we have to exercise and we have to change our eating habits. If we want a healthy relationship, then we also have to know that we need to model that healthy relationship to ourselves, because how do we know what unconditional love looks like if we didn't get it from our parents, if we didn't get it from our friends, if we didn't get it from our relationships up until this point? You're not going to attract healthy love until you model that to yourself. Everything is a reflection of your inner world. And so if you don't love yourself and you don't think that you're enough, then you're going to date people that remind you that you feel that way. You're going to trigger them, and then you're going to be hurt, and then you're going to, like, to the people that watch all the Taylor Swift readings I've done, that woman has it all, right? But at the same time, she keeps attracting codependent trauma bond relationships. And that's no slight at her. I mean, the girl is a superstar. Good for you. But we attract what we know. And when I read into her energy, it's very clear that she does not have a solid sense of self. Money cannot buy happiness. It cannot buy a solid sense of self. And so we have to do the work, go within and ask ourselves, why do we have these limiting beliefs? Why do we feel like we can't have a healthy love? Why do we feel like we need to work a dead-end job that we hate for minimum wage? Why do we feel like we can't be whatever it is that we want to be? And how do we bridge the gap so that we can become who it is that we want to be? It's embodying Virgo energy. It's planning. It's strategizing. It's going, here's who I am today. What don't I like about that? And how do I shift into who I want to be? And making lists is a really great way to actually see it play out, because you go write down everything that you don't like. So maybe you are bad at communicating your needs, or maybe you're bad at having boundaries. Maybe you don't know how to speak up for yourself because you were taught very young that your needs and opinions didn't matter. And then having a list of who we want to be. I want to be confident. I want to be non-avoidant to conflict. I want to be able to speak my truth. I want to be able to love myself despite how many people come at me sideways, getting triggered at who I am. It's learning who we want to be, learning who we are, learning what we need to heal, bridging the gap, and then becoming it. And all it is constant effort towards ourselves. Think about all the energy you put into other people. It's reeling that in and putting it to yourself. Because if we all did that, think about the airplane thing, where it's like if an airplane were about to go down or have issues, turbulence, you put the mask on you first, right? That's how we're supposed to be in life. We are supposed to fill our own cup first, meet our own needs first, and then show up for other people. But because of the society we live in today, we feel like we have to give, and then that's how we're going to get our love. That's how we're going to get our joys externally. But that's not true at all. And we're seeing that with celebrities across the world. We're seeing it right now. Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, mental health issues. Everybody's talking about it now, right? Because we're already, especially as a society in the age of Aquarius that recently happened, we are deciding to choose ourselves, to go within and to realize that this is not how it has to be, but it's up to us to change it. Unfortunately, people don't take mental health seriously enough. So let me throw some facts out for you. 25% of the American population has mental health issues, and that's just people that admit it. Think of how many people that you might know that benefit from therapy but absolutely refuse to go. That's an epidemic. That is the spread of dis-ease. It's in the word. Look at the world around us right now. Just a half hour of complaining physically damages the brain. So if you're around it or eventually becoming it, you are scientifically damaging your hippocampus, which is the part of the brain that is used for problem solving and cognitive function. How scary is that? Combine that with the fact that by the age of 30 years old, 95% of your mind is running unconsciously, aka 5% of your decision making is conscious, only 5%. Think about how easy it is to fall into a dark place. Just like it's important to take care of your hygiene, it is that much more important to take care of your mental health and well-being. How you talk to yourself, how you see the world around you, the people that you're constantly around, the environments that you're in. All of that matters. So if you decide that enough is enough and you want a better life for yourself, you're going to have to make a daily effort until being well becomes your new habit and your new norm. because that's what it boils down to. It takes 21 days to make a habit. A habit becomes a part of your personality. So if you can start to change how you approach the world, not only will it positively impact your mental health and well-being, but it'll become your new way of life. And then life will mirror back to you the positivity that you now embody. That's manifestation. It's thinking about who you really want to be, the best version of yourself, and then taking any steps that are necessary to get there. Like I've said before, it's about choosing your heart. Life will always have pain because without it, there's no growth and there's no appreciation. So choose your heart, your values, your dreams. It would have been really easy for me to stay an alcoholic and blame the world around me. But I wanted more, and I knew that I was suffering. So why not try something else when you're already so low? We're so afraid of failure that we forget to live. We stay in our comfort zones. But I didn't want to be comfortable. I wanted to be happy, and I am proof that it is obtainable, but you have to get out of your own way and look your fears dead in the eye until no stone is left unturned. So to summarize this video, I want you to think about who it is that you surround yourself with. What type of environments are you in? What is your job like, and do you really enjoy it, or are you holding back from something that you actually want to do? What about your life do you not like, and where can we actually implement change? Do we have a really, really mean inner critic, and how do we figure out where that came from so that we can stop those limiting beliefs? Like I had in this, I went through and I was like, okay, I think I'm a failure. Why do I think that way? Okay, I got this way because projections, because I was trying to fit into a box that I was never meant to fit in. I was trying to make everybody happy at the expense of myself. It's really digging into yourself to see where you've slept on yourself, where this voice in your head that says that you're not enough, it's too hard, things will never work out. Where did that come from? Because it wasn't you. You weren't born thinking that you were a failure and you weren't going to amount to anything, and you weren't pretty enough and you weren't good enough and you weren't meant for more. And it's 10:10 on my clock when I said that, which is cycles closing. It's you deciding that you're going to choose yourself no matter how uncomfortable that is, because again, it's choosing your heart. Just like staying in a relationship for 5 years that makes you absolutely miserable because you're afraid of what else might be out there and this is safe and comfortable. You have to get out of your comfort zone in order to find your happiness. You have to do things that are uncomfortable but necessary in order to become who it is that you want to become. So what does that look like for you? And how can you make a daily effort to make that happen? Because this wasn't an overnight thing. I didn't love myself the day after I wrote this. I started to dig in and I started to realize, oh, I have pain involving, parents, and then I worked and healed through that. I have pain involving work and poverty mindset, and so then I worked through that, and then I created the belief system that I have today. I now believe that anything is possible. I now believe that I can obtain wealth and success, and now I believe that I deserve a healthy, loving, unconditional relationship, and I'm not going to let the world send me an "are you sure" relationship that does not benefit me in order for me to feel comfortable and safe. I'd rather be alone and wait for what it is that I'm looking for. It's quality over quantity. It's choosing our well-being over choosing what makes us feel okay, what's safe, what's comfortable. We have to get out of that mindset if we want anything more for ourselves besides complacency and monotony. I understand that it's hard to make changes. Trust me, I have a lot of fixed placements. I don't like change at all. But I've now kind of let the universe take me where it needs to go, and I follow that. So like I said before, it's about choosing your heart. And a little life hack that I've said in numerous videos, but if you've missed it, every time you are face on with a challenge, something that triggers you, something that hurts, just go and bring it back in. What is this telling me about myself? Use that phrase. What is this telling me about myself? Even if you're not the one that's at fault, right? So say you're being triggered by someone who's not healthy, who doesn't have boundaries. Say someone's disrespecting you. You bring it back in and go, what is this telling me about myself? Oh, it means that I need to work harder on my boundaries because I don't like to have conflict. And so I'm appeasing them so that I don't have to deal with conflict, right? So that we have a wound around conflict that we are aware of and that we can heal. That's all manifestation is. And that's all it takes to change your reality. Because again, you reflect to the world what you want. Think about people that inspire you and people that get triggered by you. Everything is a mirror. People that inspire you are showing you your potential. People that are triggering you are showing you wounds that need to be healed. And once you life hack reality, then the world is your oyster. But it's up to you to decide that you're going to choose the hard. That means getting everything dirty and looking at what it is that we've been avoiding and not escaping our reality. I'm going to end it with this. I have been getting rid of all the vices that I've been using to escape my life because I was a very escapist person. I felt that no one really understood me. And honestly, a lot of people don't understand me, but I've come to terms with that. But I would binge TV to make me feel better and to escape into their realities. I would eat a shit ton of food because that would make me feel better. I would smoke a lot, and I'll leave it at that. But when we're brutally honest with ourselves, the way that we give to others so easily, that's when we actually can make change, because that's when we're being honest with ourselves. We are becoming our own therapist. That's exactly how shadow work, inner child healing works. It's going, why do I behave this way? Why do I limit myself? Why do I hold myself back? Why do I believe that I can't have an unconditionally loving relationship? Is it due to society? Is it due to my parents putting their projections onto me? Is it due to friendships that didn't fulfill my needs? Is it me playing small to make other people comfortable? It's getting in touch with ourselves, not running away from ourselves. All so often, we go to work, right? And then we go home and then we have whatever it is, whether it's a drink, whether it's food, whether it's the ganj, whatever it is that makes you escape from reality. We need to stop doing that. Like the quote says, why do we only rest in peace? Why don't we live in peace? We're not used to that. Society doesn't tell us to do that. And so we go chasing, and we're miserable and we don't understand why. And it's because we don't really know ourselves. We don't want to go there. We don't want to feel pain. We don't want to acknowledge where we may be sleeping on ourselves, because in reality, a lot of the things that we think are happening to us are things that we actually do have control over to some extent. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, you have this awful relationship and you're like, why won't he change? Because he's not going to, honey. Like, I hate to break it to you, but from all of the relationships I've had up until this point, when I thought that I could be the fixer, I should have been fixing myself. I should have been healing myself. But instead, it was like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? How do I make you love me? How do I make you see me? But I didn't love me. I didn't see me. I didn't validate my emotions. I didn't slow myself down. I didn't rest when I needed to rest. I didn't care about myself. I needed someone else to do that. I was looking for Prince Charming to save me as Cinderella instead of realizing that I could save me. And that's a society that we're used to, where we expect people to complete us, for instance. That's so toxic. People should add to your life. They shouldn't complete you, because that means that you're missing something. And the only person that can really fill that void is and has always been you. So understand that the power has always lied within you, but you have to take that leap of faith on yourself. And I promise you that if you do the work, it works. I lost 50 pounds. I'm sober over 4 years now. I built a business from scratch when no one believed in me and everybody told me that I was just fantasizing. It would never happen and I'll never amount to anything. I've attracted better relationships as I've progressed in life. I have attracted healthy, unconditionally loving friendships because I decided what I deserved and I would not settle for less. And so if you can embrace that mindset and get uncomfortable or get comfortable with being uncomfortable, then eventually that'll be your new habit. That'll be your new personality. That'll be your new reality, and your life will reflect that. Pour into yourself the way that you pour into others and watch the reality around you change, because like likes like. That's a lot of likes. But like energy likes like energy. That's how it works. That's manifestation. That's how reality works. It's universal law. What you are searching for wants you to. But in order to get there, you have to pour into you first. You have to choose yourself first. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable first. And when you can do that, that's when you'll see real change. But you have to start betting on you, not outside forces, not outside stuff. Stop listening to other people. Who are you? Who do you want to be? And how do we bridge that gap? And pouring that energy into us first so that we could show up as the best version of us first so that we can then give it to other people. That's how it works. That's not what we're taught, and that's why we always get lost. But we can find the way back home to ourselves as long as we do the work. That's all it is. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like. It really does support my channel. Share it with friends that might actually benefit from this, because that's the whole goal of my page. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Links are all down below. If you want to book a personal reading, the links are all down below. Pop culture lists, readings, conspiracy playlists. If you haven't seen them all, I have playlists for everything. Go check them out. And I will see you guys in my next video. You guys can do this. No one thought I could do this, and I did this. You can do it too. I believe in you. If you didn't hear that from anybody else today, hear it from me. You can do it. If I can do it, anybody can. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Love you, besties. See you next time. Bye.
The Comic DM.